So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's session on subject verb agreement. So, today we're going to talk about 20 rules that are mandatory to understand the concept of subject and verb agreement. Remember, it's a major grammar concept because to formulate a meaningful sentence, you require that the subject always agrees with the verb. And if the subject does not agree with the verb, the sentence completely goes wrong. So therefore, this concept plays a very significant role when it comes to understanding proper meaning of the sentence. And very, very special, let me tell you, my dear friends, subject-verb agreement is also a major concept based on which a lot of questions are being asked in competitive exams or even on campus recruitment tests, especially like companies like Emphasis, Cognizant, Wipro, and many other companies. It's not just one company alone based on AMCAT model at all. It's not only AMCAT model, but there are many other companies which use this style of grammar testing. So if you guys are ready to understand this concept, it's very simple. There's nothing much of what you call difficult in terms of understanding this. It's going to be very easy, provided you pay proper attention to this and try to understand what's being going on. So if you guys are ready, here we go. Let's try to understand the proper meaning of the subject-verb agreement. So let's see. Subject and verbs must agree in number. See, it's a singular subject. It should be agreeing with, it should be taking a singular verb. So plural subject is equal to plural verb. Cow singular. Just to check out an example. Cow singular. And therefore, it should have the singular verb called eats. Cows plural, therefore it should have a verb called eat. I hope you understand now very clearly as to what is a singular subject and what is a plural subject. If it is a plural subject, you will have singular verb. If it is a singular subject, it's going to be plural verb. Say for example, cow singular, eats singular verb. Okay, so ducks plural, quack is a plural verb, okay, which means it does not, we need not add any yes form to the verb. So cow eats grass, cows eat grass, duck quacks singular, ducks quack plural. So that's what the meaning. Let's move on to the rule number 2. Don't get confused by the words that come between the subject and the verb. The detective who was called to the case is usually very good. The detective who was called yes. So check out this rule. Don't get confused by the words that come between the subject and the verb. See here in this sentence, the detective is the subject and the verb is who was called to the, is the verb. Okay. So the detective who was called to the case is usually very good. So between the verb is and detective, the subject and the verb, there are a few more things that are given. Who was called to the case. We don't get confused. We are not bothered about what is given between the subject and the verb. We only clear, or rather we only what we call add or use verb based on the subject. If it is a subject is plural, we use are. If the subject is singular, we use is. So therefore, the detective who was called to the case is usually very good. The prepositional phrases between the subject and verb usually do not affect the agreement. So what happens is the prepositional phrases, I keep reading each rule 2 times for you so that you understand it much clearer for yourself. Okay, the prepositional phrases between the subject and the verb usually do not affect the agreement. So a lot of prepositional verbs are there, prepositional phrases might be there in between the subject and the verb. Check out the example. The biker in this race is very competitive. We are not bothered about what is given between the subject and the verb. Say for example, the subject is biker. It is a singular. So based on that, we are using is. In between this particular subject and verb, there is a prepositional phrase called in this race. So in this race does not count because we are not bothered about it. That does not come under while deciding on which verb to be used. The biker in this race is very competitive. The bikers in this race are very competitive because the bikers is plural. Therefore, we are using a plural verb called are. Yes, let's move on. If a sentence starts with there or here, the subject will always be placed after the verb. So this is something where people often get confused as to if the sentence starts with there or here, then what kind of a verb should we use? Should we use a singular verb or a plural verb? But remember, it's a very simple English and a simple common sense that need to be applied, because here or there are not treated as subjects of a sentence. What becomes a subject is what comes after the sentence, in fact, after the verb. There is a meeting today. See, for example, if it is meeting, if it is in plural, let's say for example, meetings, then we use there are meetings today. But meeting being singular, the verb that comes before it should be singular. There is a meeting today. So you might probably ask me now, so why do we use here or there? So remember, we often have such expressions in English like there is a class now, there is someone struggling for help, or there is something happening in this area. So whatever it is. So remember, there is or here is are the expressions that we often use in English. So therefore, there's nothing much to be confused. There is a meeting today. The verb depends exclusively on what happens, what comes after the verb. Like meeting, if it is a singular, we use is. If it is a plural, we use are. So there is a meeting today. If meetings plural ankondi, then we use there are meetings today. Yes. Here are the results from this past month. Here are the results from this past month. Here are the results. So if it is results plural, therefore we have used are. Moving on to next. Subjects can come after the verb in questions. Does Betty always play with the dolls? Read the rule once again. Subjects can come after the verb in questions. So when it comes to questions, when we are framing questions, the subjects sometimes come after the verb, in fact, after the verb. So see, we have this one. Does Betty always play with the dolls? Betty. We have used, Betty is singular. Betty is the name of a person. So Betty is singular. Therefore, we are using play, and actually should be place, but because this being a simple present tense question tag or question form, therefore we are using it as does Betty always play with the dolls? Next one. How are the Bosco sticks today? Bosco sticks is a kind of eatable stuff. In China they often use it. Okay. How are the Bosco sticks today? So how are the Bosco sticks today? Bosco sticks being plural, we have used the verb called are. Okay. Does Betty always play with the dolls? So that Betty being singular, we have used does, or does Betty always play with dolls? And Bosco sticks being plural, we have used are. How are the Bosco sticks today? If two subjects are joined by and, they typically require a plural verb. The puppy and the lady are friends. Check out the meaning of the sentence here. The puppy and the lady are friends. So here, the puppy is singular, the lady is also singular. When two singulars are joined, two subjects are joined with and, we always use plural verb. So it could be singulars, two singulars, or two plurals, or one singular and one plural. It could be whatever be the subjects. Okay. If two subjects, be it plural or singulars, getting joined together, they must always be used. Only a plural verb should be used in this. So this example, the puppy and the lady are friends. If two subjects are separated by and refer to the same thing, the verb is singular. Read this statement, the rule once again. If two subjects, there are two subjects, okay, they refer to the same thing, okay, both subjects are referring to the same thing. In such conditions, though they sound like plurals, they are always treated as singulars. Therefore, we must use a singular verb. Check out with an example here. Spaghetti and meatballs is my favorite pasta dish. Spaghetti and meatballs is all about, it refers to the same kind of dish, one dish called pasta. Okay, spaghetti and meatballs, they refer to the same item called food item, one item. So therefore, is my favorite pasta dish. We also come across examples like, say for example, is, bread and butter is my favorite breakfast. Bread and butter is my favorite breakfast. Bread is separate and actually butter is separate. But when they are treated as one eatable item, they are treated as singulars. So therefore, bread and butter is my favorite breakfast. Am I clear? So don't get confused because they are combined with and, therefore it should be used plurals. No, because though, read the sentence, read the rule once again. If two subjects are separated by and, but refer to the same thing, they refer to the same thing, one particular item, then the verb is always singular. Go on to the next slide. If both subjects are singular and are connected by or nor, neither or nor, either or, and not only but also, the verb is singular. Remember, read the sentence very clearly. Two subjects are singular. Say for example, singular subject here, Sally is the name of a girl. So Sally is a singular subject. Or Bubba. Bubba is also a singular subject. Sally or Bubba has stolen the scarecrow. Sally or Bubba. Sally is also singular, one subject. Bubba is also singular, another subject. When two singular subjects are connected with or, then we should always use a singular verb. Am I clear? Sally or Bubba has stolen the scarecrow. Says for example, Rajesh or Venkatesh has completed the task. Am I clear? Rajesh or Venkatesh has completed the task, which means any one of them might have completed the task. So both of them. I mean, they're either one of them, either Rajesh or Venkatesh has completed the task. Or another work like, say for example, either Geeta or Rita has stolen my pen. So any one of them. So actually two singulars, when they are separated by either or neither nor, they always take singular verb. So not only the guitar player but also the drummer was soaked with sweat. Not only but also. So as we have come across here, whenever we are talking about, whenever we are connecting two singular subjects by using either or, neither nor, or nor, not only but also, in such kind of conjunctions, వాడి మనం connect చేసినప్పుడు, remember, it always takes a singular verb because they are to be treated as singulars. Because when they are connected with two singular subjects, remember this very, very clearly, two singular subjects, when they are connected with this kind of conjunctions, we use has singular verb. But if they, what if, you might have another doubt now, so what if they are connected with plurals? Say for example, boys and girls. We will see it in the next slide. Yes. If both subjects are plural and connected by words like or, nor, neither or, either or, not only but also, the verb is plural. Now you understand the concept here? Cookies or brownies are nice treats for your teacher. Cookies or brownies are nice treat for your teacher. So remember here, cookies is a plural subject, and brownies is also a plural subject. When two plural subjects are connected with either or, neither nor, either not only but also, nor or, such kind of conjunctions, so two plurals ni kalipinappudu, then we always use plural verb. Am I clear? So cookies or brownies are nice treats for your teacher. So probably you can try another example. Say for example, students or teachers of this college are very wonderful. Students or teachers of this college are very wonderful or are very good at treating others, whatever it is. So students plural, teachers plural. Therefore, when they are connected with either or neither or, we always use this one. Say for example, neither cookies nor brownies are a nice treat for your teacher. Not only cookies but also brownies are a nice treat for your teacher. So anyway you can use it. Remember, the rule is only one thing. Subjects, when two subjects are connected with or, nor, neither nor, either or, not only but also, that always takes, no? Two subjects. Subjects means plural subjects. So we always use a plural verb. Moving on to the next slide. Yes. If one subject is singular and one plural and are connected by the words like or, nor, neither nor, either or, not only but also, use the subject that is nearest to the verb. Remember, read this rule once again. If one subject is singular and one plural and are connected by words or, nor, neither nor, either or, not only but also. If one subject is singular, remember there are two subjects. Either my sisters or my mom. My mom is a singular subject. Sisters is a plural subject. So when two subjects, one is plural, another one is singular, when they are connected with or, nor, neither nor, either or, not only but also, it always takes either a singular verb or a plural verb depending upon what comes after or not. Because the sentence is given here, use the subject that is the nearest to the verb. Say for example, either my sisters or my mom has sent me a present. So the verb has, దానికి దగ్గరలో nearest verb ఏది, nearest subject ఏంటిది, mom, singular. Actually, though it is sisters plural here, but remember second subject which is very close to the verb. So మీకు ఇంకా సింపుల్గా ఉండాలంటే I'll explain to you in Telugu. Remember, ఇంకా మీకు చాలా ఈజీగా ఉండాలంటే ఏంటంటే ప్లూరల్స్ని కానీ సింగులర్స్ని కానీ వేటినైనా ఒక ప్లూరల్ ఒక సింగులర్ లేకపోతే ఒక సింగులర్ ఒక ప్లూరల్ ఇలాంటి వాటిని నైదర్ నార్ ఐదర్ ఆర్ నార్ ఇలాంటి వాటి ఇలాంటి కంజంక్షన్తో కనెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు కూడా మనకి ఆరు నారు సే హియర్ ఆర్ నార్ వీటి తర్వాత వచ్చేటటువంటి సబ్జెక్ట్ సింగులర్ ఉంటే సింగులర్ వర్బ్ వస్తుంది, సబ్జెక్ట్ ప్లూరల్ ఉంటే ప్లూరల్ వర్బ్ వస్తుంది. అంత సింపుల్గా మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవచ్చు. It's as easy as that. Okay, either my sisters. So we are not bothered about what comes before or, before neither nor or either or. దీనికి ముందు ఏమొస్తుందని we are not bothered. We are only bothered about what comes after this. See, or, after or, it is singular. Therefore, has sent me a present. Let's check out one more example. Not only Bob but also the Smiths want some hamburgers for supper. Not only Bob. Bob is a singular one, but also the Smiths. Smiths is plural because Smiths here refers to a group of people belonging to a family called Smiths. Am I clear? So Smiths plural. Therefore we have used want. లేదు, let's say for example అనుకుందాం, స్మిత్స్ని ఇటు పెట్టేసేసి బాబ్ని ఇటు తీసుకొచ్చారు అనుకోండి. నాట్ ఓన్లీ స్మిత్స్ బట్ ఆల్సో బాబ్ వాంట్స్ సమ్ హ్యాంబర్గర్స్ ఫర్ సప్పర్. I hope you understand clearly. Am I clear? Without any confusion you try to understand. ఎందుకంటే మనకి బట్ ఆల్సో, నాట్ ఓన్లీ బట్ ఆల్సో తర్వాత వచ్చేయండి సబ్జెక్ట్ని బట్టి మనకి వెర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. నైదర్ నార్ ఐదర్ ఆర్, ఓకే, నార్ ఆర్, నాట్ ఓన్లీ బట్ ఆల్సో వీటి లేదని సరే వీటి తర్వాత ద సెకండ్, ఓకే, నార్ తర్వాత ఆర్ తర్వాత లేదంటే నాట్ బట్ ఆల్సో తర్వాత వచ్చేయండి సబ్జెక్ట్ని బట్టి మనకి వర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. Am I clear? So I'm just trying to take in, bring in a little bit of Telugu explanation so that you understand it clear, because ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్గా ఉండొచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే These are subject verb agreement concepts, but వీటిలో అన్ని కాన్సెప్ట్ కాకుండా అట్లీస్ట్ నైదర్ నార్ ఐదర్ ఆర్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ బట్ ఆల్సో వీటికి సంబంధించినంత వరకు కొంచెం డిఫికల్ట్ అనిపించు. దట్స్ వై ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు యూజ్ అ బిట్ ఆఫ్ తెలుగు టు మేక్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఇట్ మచ్ మోర్ క్లియర్. If you guys are ready, let's move on to the next slide. Yes, check out. Units of measurements usually use a singular verb. Units of measurement usually use a singular verb. 6 gallons of paint was used on the house. 6 gallons of paint was used on the house. Units of measurements. Remember, units of measurements. 6 gallons, $5. Okay, 5 kilos, 10 grams. So these are all measurements. Okay, 500 kilometers. Okay, measurements. Units of measurements like gallons, dollars, or kilometers, or kilograms. So such kind of measurements. Units of measurements usually use a singular verb. 6 gallons of paint was used on the house. Gallons might sound to be a plural, but remember, these being units of measurement, we always use only singular verb. 6 gallons of paint was used on the house. $5 is too much for a cup of coffee. $5 is too much for a cup of coffee. $5. Dollars might sound like plural, wherein you might feel that it takes a plural verb, but dollars, though it sounds plural, but it should always take only singular because they are used as units of measurement here. Use a singular verb with distances, periods of time, sums of money, etc. when considered as a unit. Read this particular statement once again. Use a singular verb with distances, periods of time, sums of money, etc. when considered as a unit. When you consider them, distances, periods of time, sums of money, such kind of things. So when you consider them as a single unit, they should always be used as singular verbs. For example, check out a few examples below here. 3 miles is too far to walk. 3 miles is too far to walk. So 3 miles. Miles sounds plural. In fact, it is plural, but it is treated as a single unit of measurement. Therefore, use is. 5 years is the maximum sentence for that offense. Sentence means punishment. $10 is a high price to pay. $10. So it is treated as a single unit. But however, there are a few exceptions. $10, that is dollar bills, 10 different dollars were scattered on the floor, which means $10 notes. Okay, dollar notes, so which are 10. Okay, in number, they are scattered. In such case, we don't use singulars because we use them as we treat them as plural because we are talking about individual dollar notes. $10 notes were scattered on the floor. But when it is treated as a single unit of measurement, we always use is. If you guys are clear with this slide, let's move on to the next slide. Collective nouns usually take a singular verb. With collective nouns such as group, jury, family, audience, population, the verb might be singular or plural depending on the writer's intent. Check out collective nouns like jury, group, family, audience, population. They are all plural nouns actually. They are all plural. Okay? They are always plural. But though they are groups, because they are collective nouns, though it consists, each collective noun consists of so many plural subjects, but it is treated as one unit. Therefore, it is called a collective noun, and the collective nouns most of the times are treated as singulars. Let's check out with examples. All of my family has arrived or have arrived. Most of the jury is here or are here. A third of the population was not in favor or were not in favor of the bill. The herd is stampeding. The class was ready for the test. So check out. So remember, when collective nouns, sometimes they take singular verbs, sometimes they take plural verbs, depending upon the writer's intention, whatever the person who is speaking who is writing that sentence, అతని ఇంటెన్షన్ మీద పట్టేసి we need to take whether it is a plural verb to be used or a singular verb to be used. Okay, those collective nouns, but most of the times they are treated as singulars. Say, for example, my family is going to Tirumala today. My family is going to Tirumala. My family, though it's a group of people consisting, which can be treated as family, but my family is going to Tirumala today. But remember, my family have disagreed on this decision. My family have disagreed. Here, my family have means, the members of the family, each member of the family has disagreed with it. Therefore, we use the members of the family have disagreed. Are we clear? So, depending upon the kind of intention that you have in your mind, the speaker uses either a plural verb or a singular verb, depending upon the kind of intention with which you are using this particular collective nouns. Moving on. Titles of books, movies, novels, etc. are treated as singular. Titles of books, movies, novels, etc. are treated as singulars. Halls was one of my favorite books. I want to see the movie. Halls sounds like plural, but this is a book name. Halls is a book name. Therefore, we are using Halls was one of my favorite books. Halls was, because Halls is the title of a book. I want to see the movie. So the book is also been made into a movie, therefore. Okay. Say, for example, next, movies, novels, anything of that sort, they're always treated as singulars. Though they might sound plural, but they are treated as singulars. Check out. Two infinitives separated by and take a plural verb. For example, to run and to read are my two favorite free time activities. To run. See, first of all, you need to understand what is an infinitive. An infinitive is a verb before which we will add to. To run and to read are my two favorite free time activities. To run, to read are two infinitives. Run is a verb, read is a verb. But when we add to before that, it becomes an infinitive. It's treated, it is called a true infinitive. So two infinitives here. To run and to read are my two favorite free time activities. Let's move on to the next slide. Yes, gerunds alone take a singular verb. Gerunds linked by and take a plural verb. Say, for example, gerund. First of all, understand the concept of gerund. What is a gerund? Gerund is nothing but the ing form of the verb. The ing form. Dancing, eating, cooking, singing, cleaning, or studying, or listening, speaking. So, the ing form of the verb, when it is usually treated as a noun of the sentence, as a subject of the sentence. So dancing is not something everyone can do as well as I can. Dancing is not something everyone can do as well as I can. So dancing, ing form of the verb, are usually called the gerunds. But ing forms, when they are used as subjects, when they are used as nouns in the sentence, then we call them gerunds. Are we clear? So what is a gerund? A gerund is the ing form of the verb, which is usually treated as a subject, as a noun in the sentence. That is called a gerund. So the example is, dancing is not something everyone can do as well as I can. Say, for example, singing is not easy for all. So singing is not easy for all. Cooking is a great art. Cooking is a great art, is a great talent. Okay? Teaching is a noble profession. Teaching is a noble profession. Teach, ing form of the teaching. Okay? Teach, teaching. Teaching is a gerund. Let's move on to the next slide. If the words each, every, or no come before the subject, the verb is singular. This is one particular statement that I often hear, or rather that I often hear students getting confused or wrongly used when it comes to regular conversations. Each boy and girl has to take the test. Each boy and girl. Remember, if a sentence begins with each or every, it should always be treated as singular. Example again, let's see that example once again. Each boy and girl has to take the test. Every frog and toad turns into a prince. So remember, each boy and girl, in fact boy and girl, when they are boy girl, when they are connected with and, they are supposed to be treated as plurals. But here we don't treat them as plurals because we have started this question, or we have started the statement with each. So if a statement begins with each, it makes sure that the verb will always be singular. So no paper and pen is required. Like each, every, no. Okay, before every subject, if a subject, read that statement once again, read that rule once again. If the words each, every or no come before the subject, the verb is singular. So each boy and girl has to take the test. Every frog and toad turns into a prince. No paper and pen is required. Okay. So in the same way, dancing and singing come naturally to me. Yes. Let's check out here. Most indefinite pronouns take singular verbs. Say for example, one, buddy, thing. Like someone, anyone, no one, everyone. Buddy to somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody. With thing, something, anything, nothing, everything. Are we clear? So most indefinite pronouns take singular verbs. So which means someone is, anyone is, no one is, everyone is. Somebody is, anybody is, nobody is, everybody is. Something is, anything is, nothing is, everything is. Which means these indefinite pronouns, we call them indefinite pronouns. These indefinite pronouns are always treated as singulars, therefore they always take singular verb. Say for example, everybody is happy. No one has a dime. Nothing was going to help. Are we clear? So everyone. Say for example, one, little one, another, neither, much. So you just neglect them. This is not required. Remember, everybody is happy. No one has a dime. Nothing was going to help. Singulars, because these indefinite pronouns like someone, anyone, no one, everyone, somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody, something, anything, nothing, everything. These kind of indefinite pronouns are to be treated always as singulars. Therefore, they always take singular verbs. Let's come to the next statement. Both, few, many, others and several take a plural verb. So words such as both, few, many, others and several take a plural verb. Say for example, several need to finish the race. A few have the right answer. Several need to finish. Several needs until because similarly several is treated as plural. Therefore, several need to finish the race. A few, which means some, a group of. A few have the right answer. This is another very important rule. When the subject is all and any, more, most, none or some, this is the only time you must look at the object of the prepositional phrase to determine whether it is singular or plural. With the words that indicate portions, a lot, a majority, some, all. Let me read this rule once again for you so that you understand it clearly. When the subject is all, say for example, subject here is all. Subject anedi all, any, more, most, none or some ఇలాంటి వాటితో స్టార్ట్ అయినప్పుడు this is the only time you must look at the object of the prepositional phrase. ఇక్కడ all of the chickens, all is not written here. Here what comes as the preposition, what comes as the what you call object of this preposition? All of అనేది preposition. All is a preposition. Okay, దీని తర్వాత వచ్చే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఏంటిది? చికెన్స్ ప్లూరల్. Depending upon this particular object we decide the verb. Read this rule once again. I'm just trying to take a little more time to explain this particular slide, precisely because I want every one of you to understand this concept. When the subject is all, subject all, any, more, most, none or some అనేటివి మనకి సబ్జెక్ట్ గా ఉన్నట్లయితే, you understand the subject verb, right? And object. So all, some ఈ రెండు కూడా ఇక్కడ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ అన్నమాట, సబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ది సెంటెన్స్. బట్ ఇక్కడ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ కంటే కూడా మనం ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ను బట్టి మన వర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. All of the chickens have laid eggs. Have laid because chickens is plural, therefore have laid eggs. Some of the milk has spilled. ఇక్కడ has because milk is singular. I hope it's clear. Okay, మనకి ఇక్కడ ఆల్ని బట్టి లేకపోతే సమ్ను బట్టి, మోర్ను బట్టి, మోస్ట్ని బట్టి, వీటిని బట్టి, సబ్జెక్ట్ని బట్టి మనకు వెర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏంటంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్, ఈ ప్రిపోజిషనల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అంటారు దీని. ఎందుకంటే దీనికి ముందు ప్రిపోజిషన్స్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ ద అనే ప్రిపోజిషన్ వచ్చింది. ఈ ప్రిపోజిషనల్స్ వీటిని అందుకని వీటి ప్రిపోజిషనల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ అంటారు. ఓకే, సో ప్రపోజిషనల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ బట్టి మనకి వర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కనుక ప్లూరల్ ఉంటే ప్లూరల్ వర్బ్ వస్తుంది, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కనుక సింగులర్ ఉంటే సింగులర్ వర్బ్. సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, all of the chickens have laid eggs. Chickens plural, therefore have. Some of the milk has spilled. Milk is singular, therefore has spilled. Let us continuing on the same rule, let us see a few more examples with words that indicate portions. For example, a lot, a majority, some, all. Rule number 1 given earlier in this section is reversed, and we are guided by the noun after of. If the noun after the of is singular, use a singular verb. If it is plural, use a plural verb. Very clear. Let us check out some examples. One example చూస్తే మీకు ఇంకా క్లియర్ గా అర్థమవుతుంది. Say for example, a lot of the pie. Remember, of అనేటటువంటిది ఇక్కడ చాలా కీ రోల్ ప్లే చేస్తుంది ఈ సెంటెన్స్ లో. ఆఫ్ అనేటటువంటి ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఏ లాట్ ఆఫ్. ఆఫ్ తర్వాత మనకి నౌన్ సింగులర్ వస్తే సింగులర్ వర్బ్ వాడతాం. ఆఫ్ తర్వాత మనకి నౌన్ ప్లూరల్ వస్తే ప్లూరల్ వర్బ్ వాడతాం. ఏ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ద పై హ్యాస్ డిసపియర్డ్. పై మీన్స్ choco pie, kind of a small snack, a biscuit or chocolate. Okay, a lot of the pie has disappeared. A lot of the pies have disappeared because of అనేటువంటి ప్రిపోజిషన్ తర్వాత మనకి ప్లూరల్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ వచ్చింది. ప్లూరల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ పైస్, దేర్ఫోర్ హ్యావ్ వాడాం. ఆఫ్ అనే ప్రిపోజిషన్ తర్వాత మనకి సింగులర్ పై అనేటటువంటి సింగులర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ వచ్చింది. దేర్ఫోర్ ఇక్కడ మనకి ఫస్ట్ సెంటెన్స్ హ్యాస్ వాడాం. A lot of the pie has disappeared. A lot of the pies have disappeared. Depending upon the object, we have used singular or plural. Check out a few more examples here. A third of the city is unemployed. A third of the city is unemployed. A third of the people are unemployed. People is plural, therefore are unemployed. City is singular, therefore is unemployed. Kanaka ఆఫ్ అనే ప్రిపోజిషన్ తర్వాత వచ్చేటటువంటి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ సింగులర్ అయితే సింగులర్ వర్బ్ వాడతాం, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్లూరల్ అయితే ప్లూరల్ వర్బ్ వాడతాం. ఫ్యూ మోర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. ఆల్ ఆఫ్ ద పై ఈస్ గాన్. ఆల్ ఆఫ్ ద పైస్ ఆర్ గాన్. సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద పై ఈస్ మిస్సింగ్. సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద పైస్ ఆర్ మిస్సింగ్. I hope you have understood this concept, this particular rule very, very clearly. Remember, again I once again insist, or rather I reiterate, give you a recap of this slide. Remember, words such as that indicate portions or part of it. Okay, like a lot, a majority, some. Okay, all of, third, okay, this kind of things, ఇలాంటి వాటిలో ఎప్పుడు కూడా మనకి the verb depends upon what we call verb depends upon the object. If the object is singular, it takes a singular verb. If the object is plural, it takes a plural verb. Okay, yes. If you guys are clear with this, let's move on to the next statement. Yes, check out. Sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words as along with, as well as, besides, not, etc. These words and phrases are not part of the subject. Ignore them and use a singular verb when the subject is singular. Yes. ఇంకా సింపుల్గా మీకు అర్థమయ్యేలా చెప్తాను వినండి ఒకసారి. ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ద పొలిటీషియన్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ద న్యూస్మెన్ ఈజ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ షార్ట్లీ. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of her shaking. మనకి ఇక్కడ తెలియాల్సింది ఏంటంటే along with, as well as, besides, not, ఇలాంటి పదాలు వచ్చినప్పుడు వీటికి ముందు, ఈ పదాలకి ముందు వచ్చేటటువంటి సబ్జెక్ట్ బట్టి మనకి వెర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ చూద్దాం. ద పొలిటీషియన్ ఈజ్ సింగులర్, అలాంగ్ విత్ ద న్యూస్మెన్ ఈజ్ ప్లూరల్. న్యూస్మెన్ అనేది ప్లూరల్. బట్ ఇక్కడ మనం ప్లూరల్ వెర్బ్ ఇవ్వట్లేదు, ఆర్ ఇవ్వట్లేదు, ఇక్కడ ఈజీ ఇస్తున్నాం. కారణం ఏంటంటే వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ ఓన్లీ ద సబ్జెక్ట్ దట్ కమ్స్ బిఫోర్ అలాంగ్ విత్ అనేటువంటి వర్డ్కి ముందు వచ్చినటువంటి సబ్జెక్ట్ని బట్టి మనకి వెర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ ద పొలిటీషియన్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ద న్యూస్మెన్ ఈజ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ షార్ట్లీ. ఇక్కడ ఈజ్ అనేది ద పొలిటీషియన్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ముందు వచ్చినటువంటి సింగులర్ వర్బ్ని బట్టి. లేదు ఇక్కడ ప్లూరల్ అనుకోండి, పొలిటీషియన్స్ అని వచ్చింది అనుకో, అప్పుడు ఆర్ వస్తుంది. ద పొలిటీషియన్స్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ద న్యూస్మెన్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ షార్ట్లీ. ఆర్ ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ పొలిటీషియన్స్ అని ప్లూరల్ వాడితే, బట్ ఇక్కడ సింగులర్ వాడాం కనుక ద పొలిటీషియన్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ద న్యూస్మెన్ ఈజ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ షార్ట్లీ. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of her shaking. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of her shaking. So ఇక్కడ కూడా అంటే as well as కు ముందు వచ్చేటటువంటి సబ్జెక్ట్ ని బట్టి మనకి వర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ ప్లూరల్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంటే ప్లూరల్ వర్బ్, సింగులర్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంటే సింగులర్ వర్బ్. ఎగ్జైట్మెంట్ సింగులర్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంది, therefore ఈజ్ వాడము. ఎగ్జైట్మెంట్స్ అనుకో, then we could have used are. Am I clear? చాలా సింపుల్ గా ఉంటుంది ఇది. అలాంగ్ విత్, యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్, బిసైడ్స్, నాట్, ఇలాంటి పదాలు మనం సెంటెన్స్లో వాడేటప్పుడు ఈ పదాలకు ముందు వచ్చేటటువంటి సబ్జెక్ట్ని బట్టి మనకి వెర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. వీటి తర్వాత వచ్చే సబ్జెక్ట్ని బట్టి మనకి వెర్బ్ డిసైడ్ అవ్వదు. కనుక వీటి తర్వాత ఏం వస్తుంది అనేది వీ డోంట్ కేర్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. వీ ఆర్ నాట్ బాదర్ అబౌట్ వాట్ కమ్స్ ఆఫ్టర్ దీస్ వర్డ్స్. వీ ఓన్లీ టేక్ ఇన్ టు కన్సిడరేషన్ వాట్ కమ్స్ బిఫోర్ దెమ్. ఇఫ్ a plural verb comes before them, we use a plural. A plural subject comes before them, we use a plural verb. If it is singular subject comes before them, we use a singular verb. It's as simple as that. Yes. The word were replaces was in sentences that express a wish or are contrary to fact. So, ఒకసారి చూడండి. The word were, okay, ఎందుకంటే we often hear, no, say, okay, example చూస్తే మీకు చాలా క్లియర్ అవుతుంది. If Joe were here, you would be sorry. If Joe were here, remember, మనం when we are expressing a wish, ఇలా అయ్యున్నట్లయితే, నేనే గనక అది చేస్తున్నట్లయితే, say for example, if I were the prime minister now, I would have lifted the lockdown. Am I clear? If I were, you can't be. నువ్వు ఒక wish ని తెలియజేస్తున్నావు అంతే, but it cannot be that. So when you are expressing your wishes for somebody, see for example, నేనే గనక నువ్వైతే ఇలా చేసి ఉండేవాడిని, which means నువ్వు కాలేనప్పటికీ, so which means you are expressing a wish. So if I were you, I would have killed him. If I were you means if I were in your place, you would not be. Okay, so when you express your wish, if I were Pavan Kalyan, I would not enter into politics. Are we clear? So if I were Amitabh Bachchan, I would have donated all my let's say riches to the poor. So if I were, so which means, read this rule once again. The word were replaces was. Actually if Joe wasn't రావాలి, Joe is singular, therefore wasn't రావాలి. కానీ ఇక్కడ we are expressing a wish. Therefore, we use were. If Joe were here, he would be sorry. Am I clear? If I were Virat Kohli, I wouldn't have married Anushka. If I were Virat Kohli, if I were, which means I can't be. If I were. So, such is the kind of thing. So, this particular expression, whenever you are trying to express a wish or something which is contrary to the fact, in such cases, we use if I were, if he were, if she were. We don't use singulars. And there is another final rule is, remember, only the subject affects the verb. Am I clear? But before this, I want to tell you one more rule I happen to miss it here. I'll probably edit it later. Remember, the rule is this one. Whenever you find out some things like, they might appear to be plurals, but they're always treated as singulars. Say, for example, maths, physics, okay? They are to be treated as always singulars. Maths is an interesting subject. Physics is my favorite subject. So they sound plural, but they are singulars. So what you could singular verbs se vaadtam. Maths is my favorite subject, okay, or physics is my favorite subject, or such kind of things which might sound plural, but they're actually singulars. Well, friends, here we end this session on subject verb agreement. I hope you have understood the concept very clearly. Put them into practice. Remember, this particular concept not only helps you to perform better in your online tests in the campus recruitments, but also that will give you an excellent knowledge on how to properly construct a meaningful sentence without grammatical errors. Well then, it's your time to put them into practice. Do a lot of practice over this. I'm sure you'll be absolutely a great communicator in your future. Wish you all good luck. Stay home, stay safe. All the best. Have a great day.